Isn't that just the longest 29 seconds of your life as it's ticking down? Good afternoon, everyone. Rich Hunter Rice, Minerva Grove. Good afternoon. And yes, Wednesday, the 11th of August, and going live twice in a day. So honoured to be joined this afternoon by the amazing Stu James. So, Stu James, introduce yourself and your amazing business, please.
Rich, thanks for having me, mate. My Stuart James. Company is Emotive Eye. Live by the whole motto that you've got one chance to connect, make it count, and that's basically what I do for my clients with photography and photography, imagery, video that truly connects and helps them make a difference. Really.
So, where should we start? I've known you for probably 2.5 years. Your imagery is always on another level to any photographer I've ever seen. So come on, what makes you so different?
I think the biggest thing is the way that I think about things. So before a shoot, I'm always thinking about styling it or approaching it to the end viewer, not the actual business itself. Because it's really easy to be self-absorbent, but nobody really gives a damn. They all want to know what you're going to do for them. And that's sort of where I approach it. And then when I'm working with people, my primary focus is on them. It's making sure they're connected, they're feeling comfortable, they're feeling confident. They're basically connecting with the camera and connecting with me through the camera, because if you get that connection, then the viewers see it as well. If you don't have that connection, if it's cold, it's a flat image, it's dead. You can see it in the eyes, you can see it in the body language. Nobody likes being photographed, and it's that whole thing of breaking that barrier down, feeling comfortable, feeling confident, and just making that connection. I intend to have fun on every single shoot I do, mate. It's as simple as that. And by having fun and making sure my clients have fun, they get great imagery.
Absolutely. In a nutshell, whatever you do, it's completely different to anyone else. And I think, you've captured it absolutely there in the last couple of sentences. I thought it was just me who hated having these images taken and photos taken, but obviously it's not. It's, the more I get to know you, the more everyone is the same.
Absolutely, mate. Nobody likes being photographed. I remember when I was the other side of the camera when I did my own personal brand shoot, and it was like, right, I'm handing my whole soul over in a way to Aideen, and it's a trust exercise. You've got to believe in the person that you're handing your imagery to, and yeah, it's getting that connection, feeling comfortable, feeling confident, and I'd say having fun, because life's too short not to, mate.
I'm glad to hear that you feel the same as well, having it been at the other end of the camera. That's quite reassuring. I like that. So we've titled this chat "The Power of Imagery." So come on, talk to me about the power of imagery.
Let's be fair. We're in a more connected world than we've ever been in. Last year, yes, we had physical disconnect, but we had more connection than ever with how companies, individuals braced, online video, Zoom, everything to connect. And companies are still doing the same. Consumers shop online more than ever, but you've got to be really damn careful that you actually make a human connection. And that's where great imagery comes in. It doesn't matter if it's a video that's curated really well with a story that's compelling and you're tugging on the heartstrings of someone and really, buying into where they are in their life. Or if it's just creating, great brand imagery, whether it's, a big business, whether it's an individual, that allows people to connect with them. That's what it's about. You've got to give people that connection. You've got to remember that every transaction you have in business and in life is with a person. And if you're not keeping that human connection, it's noise, it's pointless. You've got to focus on people first, be human with everything you do, which for some brands isn't the most straightforward thing. And you've got to be clever with what you do with it. And that's where great imagery comes in. It's just giving that personal connection, that human connection.
Mate, you know your product and your craft so well. I couldn't have said it any better. I think, you've identified the fact the world's gone through some major changes in the last year and a half, and I think there's no going back on certain areas. Online usage, social media, people buying, spending online is going through the roof. And again, it all comes back to the old-fashioned values of people buy from people, it's relationships, connecting with people. It's knowing you trust that person, and the whole imagery that you can create. It just makes such a difference.
Totally. And I think the thing that's, possibly I shouldn't be pushing this, but it's not all about it being polished and perfect and, being taken by a photographer. Show behind the scenes, show the real life. People want to see this stuff. I wrote a blog post the other day and it was all about showing what you think is the mundane and the day-to-day. You're a logistics company, so you've got trucks and you've got warehouse racking full of products. But your customers want to see that. They want to see the quality of what you do. They want to see the care and attention. They want to see that it's not all polished and perfect. And I want to meet the people behind the business as well. Just show a bit of character in there. Get your phones out, start showing the people behind the business, but do it in a way that you're always speaking to people and trying to make that connection and strengthen that connection, really. Remember, it's not about selling if you want to be really clever. Content marketing is key, and it is about creating value.
Interesting. So the difference, the quality though, and the difference in an image, if we're using an iPhone, for example, I'm an iPhone user, using an iPhone 12, amazing camera on there, but still, it's not about the hardware. It's about the person on the other end of that. And I'm fully get that. So we did a photo shoot back in June last year, and the difference of the level of the quality, the depth of the imagery, as opposed to anything I could have taken with an iPhone or an inferior photographer, it's just chalk and cheese. So different.
And I think the big thing as well is you're finding now, from a good shoot, you can get so much value. So yes, it's not cheap, but the value it provides is absolutely insane, because you can use images for months upon months upon months, and just keep dropping these images in different places, and you'll still get people jumping in and saying, "Oh, great image! That looks absolutely brilliant!" And whatever terms people use on social media these days, I am far from cool. But you'll get that connection with people, and you can keep using them, and they're not evergreen, because the bead will change color, the hair may change, not for you, mate, but for others. But it's that whole thing that you can keep using things for a long time. I reckon from a good personal brand shoot, you've got at least 12 months content, if not 18 months content. From a business brand shoot, you've got even longer. So yes, it's an investment, but you can just keep milking it and just keep connecting with it. I mean, there's one of the images that we created. This was one of the ones that didn't even make my hero list from the selection, but throw some graphics on there and it bloody works, mate. And it's as simple as that. You can keep using it and keep getting those connections. I mean,
this is why I'm laughing. Keep going. I'm laughing about this image, but keep going.
Well, I mean, it works. You had the jokes when you first put the images up, and you shared a couple of things online of, like, wow, look at him and everything. But it got that connection. It got something going. It got a bit of fun going. But the big thing is you got images you were happy to put out there, and you're still happy to put them out there. And that's what I provide with people. I give them that confidence.
Mate, unfortunately, I don't want to put you out of business, but you've given me that many images. I still haven't touched probably 2/3 of them. So the reason why I'm laughing, take us back to 2020. 2020, we did a photo shoot back in June, I believe it was last year, or the 1st of July. So over a year ago, we just come out of lockdown. So we spent months and months and months of being stuck at home working, and we met in central Birmingham. You're not too far away. I'm central Birmingham these days, and we ended up going to Millennium Point. We picked some quite key places, locations that meant something to me and also to the brand. So this was Digbeth. This was around the corner for the Custard Factory, isn't it? I can't remember the building. Is it Paisley Studios? That's the name. But as you say, this picture wasn't even in what I'd class as the top. I don't know. It was just, I was bored the weekend and thinking, I've used the same images now for 12 months. You've taken so many images. You ever quickly flick through and make some new favorites and make some new content? I'm sharing my screen because I'm showing off. I've not done it before in here. It actually works really well. It looks really good. So I grabbed that image. I just made it into a little bit of content, and I put out a couple of different posts around that just yesterday. And by about 9 o'clock last night, I had 15 direct messages. 15 direct messages, taking the P, commenting, loving the imagery, giving me some feedback on, oh my God, new workshop's coming out. It just does the job time and time again. The thing I'm laughing about is that's been sat in a folder now for 12 months and not come out. I've got loads more that I could be using for the next 6 months, probably, in all different circumstances. The other thing I'll say to you, it's not about the cost. It's about the value that provides. Forget the cost. It's all about the value. You give me so much value for the next year. We're talking a year later. I'm still talking about the bloody things. I'm still getting contacts. And that's what's so powerful about it. I was laughing with someone last night going, I can't believe it. I bought out another one of his bloody pictures and I'm getting loads of contact and loads of content, loads of connections again. And people are reaching out to me. So it just makes it just jump off the page. And that was just one of. There's about 3 or 4 images that are very similar to that, black and white, full length, whatever else. And it just goes to show the power of what you do. And I just don't think we can ever, take it for granted what you do.
No, thanks, mate. I mean, I think one of the big things that you realized from the shoot as well is how quick it can be. As soon as I got you chilled out, that was it. Boom, let's get the shots done. And like 40 minutes later, we'd finished the
I was
shoot.
going to say, we were done
It's
in less
crazy.
than an hour, and I must have a bank of 60 images
Yeah.
in all, and I've probably used 4 or 5, if I'm honest with you. So I've got another collection. I've got another 4 or 5 that I'm going to start pushing out over the next few weeks as well, just because there's that much content. The only mistake I made is we took everything. I was wearing the same clothes. I think if I did it again, I'll take a couple of different clothes. It looks like a longer period of time. But what I love about it is that, 12, 30, 14 months later, it's still working. So it's amazing.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you say that about the different clothes. That's what I always like to do when do a full brand shoot with someone. Is we're working 3 or 4 totally different locations. We'll change outfits to suit who they're going to be presented to as well. A mutual friend of ours, Steph Snade, when I did the personal brand shoot with her, it was a new brand, new business, and it was trying to work out who she was speaking to and what would look right in front of them. And it was straight away we had the conversation and realised that one look or one location, one set of clothes wasn't correct because you probably got 3 key audiences she was trying to speak to. So we built the whole shoot around it, and that's what we do. It's taking the photos the easy part. Literally anyone can press the button. Doing it with purpose and creating imagery that is actually going to connect. I think that's our key, and that's where I really add value and add something to the experience.
100%. So for the people who don't know me out there, I am a sales and marketing strategist, and I have been for a long, long time. My business, Minerva Groves, comes to its 5th anniversary next month, actually, in less than a month's time. So I did a live this morning. So if you head over to my profile on any of the mediums we're on now or Minerva Groves page, you'll see there's another live I did this morning with Cake Fantastique with the amazing Sam Strecker. And we're talking about marketing. So, she does cookies, she does cupcakes, and it's an amazing way of just grabbing someone's attention. But then, the stuff that you're doing, it's equally as important from a marketing strategy point of view because that imagery is so important. I've used one of your images this morning, one of my daily newsletters that's gone out again, and I've had 3 or 4 comments on that again this morning. So it just goes to show the power and how having a proper documented marketing strategy can keep working time and time again for your business. And it's just so bloody powerful.
Totally, mate. And you've hit a real nail on the head there when you say strategy. Obviously you talk and preach strategy and it's all part of what you do when you're working with businesses. But it's got to come into your content as well. You can't be just putting things out there haphazardly. Everything's got to have a connection. Everything's got to have a story. Everything's got to have a plan. And the thing is, when I go in and work with a company that's starting to develop this sort of strategy and a plan, I can create the images that are going to match it. And so we can totally build it together. And whether it's working just with the client or working with the client and their strategist or whatever, it's just making sure that everything we create works seamlessly and just adds the quality and content that they need, and they can just keep using it.
You'll start me harping about marketing and preaching about it all day long. But, we all know we don't buy from one touch point. We've got to have multiple touch points. And as time goes on, we need more and more touch points because you've got to catch someone's attention. We're all busy. We're working at crazy speeds these days, and it's not going to slow down. So we've got to just grab people's attention and then hook them in. But your imagery is something about it that really does make people stop, take notice, start looking at it. They might invest 30 seconds. It doesn't sound like a long time, but it's all you need to do to get that brand awareness out there. And that imagery is so powerful. I stopped myself swearing for the 3rd time. But it's so very, very powerful. It just makes such a difference. So if I can help anyone from a strategy point of view, by all means, reach out. My details are all around. Stu, over to you. Do you want to give us a final selling point about why Emotify and why we should be working with you? I've got all your details. I will stick there. Over to you.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot, mate. It's for me, working with clients is all about understanding what they need and where they're at in their business. And sometimes you don't know what you need and you don't know what would work for you. So I always say the best thing to do is jump on a discovery call. Let's have a chat. Let's find out where you're at. If you head to the website, you can go straight to the bottom of the page and click book a discovery call. Find a slot that fits into your diary, fits into my diary. We can have a chat, understand the challenges that you're facing, understand the direction that you're going in, and start planning what we can do. It might be that we jump on a shoot straight away and create something immediately. It might be something that we put into a plan for you in 6 months' time. The big thing is, unless we have that conversation, you won't know. Also, head to the website. There's so much content on there, both in the blog section, all different articles talking about how you can use content marketing and just put yourself out there and really connect, and it'll give you loads of ideas, so many of which are free and don't involve spending money with me. But then if you do want to look at working with me, head onto the portfolio section, photos, video, everything on there. You can get a real good feel for what I do, and the difference that I make for brands.
100%. Amazing, as always. Right, we'll switch that back over. See, I like playing around with these new tools. Your details are on the screen, so you can see email is hello@emotiveeye.co.uk or just emotiveeye.co.uk is the website. Head over there, and that will, I'm a firm believer in working with the people, working with the best people in their industries, and stick to what you do well, and don't try and be a jack of all trades, master of none. From a marketing point of view, sales strategy point of view, business coaching, we could talk about it all day long. You want to work with the best of breed. So, someone like you for imagery all day long. You've got Samantha this morning from Cake Fantastic, is best of breed in what she does as well. Someone like myself as a business coach, you're bringing it together, all the best people out there to get the best possible results. Don't fuck it up and do it yourself and cock it up. Just work with the best possible people you possibly can, and you'll get much better results all day. And it's all about value. It's not about the cost. It's about what the value you get at the back end of it. You see, you got me preaching again. It's all about how much value it's going to bring to you, and that strategy that you may put out there carries on working for month after month. It could be year after year. If it carries on working, bringing you in the right results, then you know what? It's an amazing investment. So there we are. Enough preaching from me. Amazing as always, mate. Thank you so much for everything you do. Keep up the great work. Any final words?
No, mate. I mean, I think the biggest thing to just say is don't forget, carrying on from that investment point of view, the first impression that anyone has of your business is the lasting impression. So you've got to stand out. You've got one chance to make that impact and show who you are and why the end user, the end viewer should care. So yeah, don't mess it up. Speak to the pros in the industry and just make that connection count. Rich, thanks for having me on, mate. Really appreciate it. It's good fun.
As always, mate. Inspirational as always. Keep up the good work. And, I can't stress enough, I highly recommend this guy. This company are amazing. You've got all the details. Please reach out to them and have a further conversation. But enjoy the rest of your day.
Cheers, buddy. And you.